ruler. Divine.
And we are back. You are listening to The Ryan Show FM. This is your host, Ryan Vernell. And the music that you heard was James Brown. Play a lot of James Brown on here, especially when we have Ernest the Cat Miller lurking around on our StreamYard. But tonight we have Skitso. For the first time ever, we have plenty of Skitsos on our show, but we have the Skitso for the first time ever on our show, thanks to our pal Elena Karras out in LA. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for a first-time appearance. Skitso is
Yes,
here
sir.
on the
Yes,
Ryan
sir.
Show. What's happening, dude? How are you tonight?
Man, all is well. Ryan, man, how you doing, brother?
Oh, fantastic! And what does it say on your sweater? It says Motor
Motor
Rockstar Original.
Rockstar Original, yeah. Rockstar is a different brand. They modeled the little Harley Davidson.
You ride bikes?
But, um, I'm interested, but I don't have a bike yet. Yeah.
How about bicycles?
Bicycles? Of course, I ride bicycles, man.
So it's a little different, man. It's a little different. But yo, riding a motorcycle, I feel like California, it makes a lot more sense. I see people riding bikes in New York and just killing themselves, flying off the road, hitting potholes. The roads need to be built for it. They say Florida, Cali, they're built for bikes.
Right.
So best of luck to you.
Man, yeah, for sure, man. I'll probably just get me a little cruiser and just cruise when there's no traffic out by the beach or something like that and bring it on back, man.
So would you go for one of those Harley Davidson type bikes? You going for one of the Jap bikes, little Toshitas? What are those things are called?
Nah, I'm going for one of the Harley Davidsons, like a little cruiser, like one of the big bodies. Yeah.
The Hogs.
Yeah, exactly. Just something
Love
to cruise on. Just something to cruise on.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Skitso.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering if it had two meanings, the name behind it, because it is, especially in a day and age of mental health awareness, it's a very particular name.
Right.
Is it? And there's an actual, it's an acronym, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it stands for Seek Knowledge in Truth and Seize Opportunities.
Yes, sir.
I like that. But is there another meaning behind it? Is it something you might be battling behind the scenes?
For sure. For sure. Yeah, like just like any great artist or any artist, not great or whatever, just trying to reach certain goals, you definitely go through depression. And with me and myself, like I have like different voices that talk to me, you know what I'm saying, like inside of my head. And that's what schizophrenia is. And like basically I was actually affected. I don't know if it's true or not, but I was actually diagnosed with schizophrenic affective disorder in 2017.
Wow.
But I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, I do have paperwork on that.
Well, you do have to meet a certain amount of the qualifications, right? When they go through the DSM, there's a certain amount of ailments that you must be suffering from in order to, I guess, qualify or be diagnosed with it. But hearing voices, I always wonder what that means exactly, because we all hear voices, right? We all hear the voices in our heads that speak to us or whatnot. I mean, it's when is it that you realize that you had these voices in your head? Because 2017 wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago. And actually, I was calling myself Skitso way before that. Hearing voices. Let me see. Man, I would say really as long as I can remember, for real. Like as long as I can remember, like. And what do they call it? A conscience? It could be a conscience. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Or or sometimes it may get overboard or something like that. Just simple thought as being a human. But where do your thoughts come from? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because I mean, I remember being a big fan of Ren and Stimpy as a kid. You watch Ren battle paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah.
He's gripping his head. It's a serious ailment, man. So, hats off to you.
Yeah.
For being an artist. Like you said, a lot of artists suffer from all types of mental illness, and it really helps contribute. How would you say that your battle with schizophrenia impacts your music?
I feel like it impacts it in a great way, like, you know what I mean? Because I have different inspirations, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm boxed in creative wise, you know what I mean? I feel like just like any other human, I could talk about different subjects, you know what I mean, without being perceived as a particular type of artist. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, like I said, I could have different emotions. Some days it's happy, sad, you know, um, spontaneous, joyful, playful, like all different type of emotional states. And I get to express that through my music.
That's for sure.
Hmm.
And you can hear it. There's a diversity of music. I was kind
Exactly.
of going through the archives, and I saw that some of your music was actually based on mental health and
Yeah.
depression and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
And there must be a fan base. Have you found that you've gotten fans that listen to you specifically because they relate to you with that same type of struggle?
For sure. For sure. Definitely on Twitter and Instagram.
Oh, Twitter might be a great place for that. So, what are your thoughts on Twitter? You see, Elon Musk said he was going to retire. On a different note, Elon Musk said he was going to retire if people voted and they wanted him out. He would step down at his role as CEO over at Twitter.
What do I think about that?
Yeah, did you vote yes or no?
I didn't vote, man. But I think it's too early. You know what I mean? Like he just got in like what, like last month?
Could be just a big PR stunt.
It's a brand new company for him. He just acquired it. He hasn't really got to dive in. It hasn't even been a full 6 months or a full year, to really get his feet wet and see how he likes it. You know what I mean? He's in it. I believe Elon was in talks with acquiring the company for a while. So just to be ready to retire within a month, that doesn't sound realistic.
I mean, he still own it, but I think
Yeah.
he was referring to stepping down as the CEO. He made a tweet yesterday that said that if enough people voted for him to step down, that he would. And they voted for him to step down. It was maybe 57% of the people that voted, but it was mainstream news. Any type of opportunity that the mainstream media can get to blast Elon Musk, they're going to. So
Right. Right.
all over the place today. But yeah,
Um,
just curious.
I believe he would step down though. I believe he would if that's true. If he seemed like a man of his word, and he just seemed like he goes with the people. He'll still have ownership, and at the end of the day, you don't have to be wear all hats to be an owner of a company. So it's all good. Maybe he's not the best fit for it, but I still feel like we should still give him a chance though, and he should still give himself a chance
It's a
with.
great point. I definitely don't think he's the right fit for it. He's definitely a genius,
Yeah,
great at what he does, but that man needs to stay doing what he was doing, creating weapons of mass destruction over a Tesla or whatever kind of crazy flamethrowers he was putting together when he was
yeah.
bored.
Cars and stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's cars and all types of stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely a genius marketing move.
Right.
There's no way he was going to stay as CEO. So by showing the power of Twitter, he gave the power of Twitter. So much power lies with those users on Twitter, so much so that they literally are changing the CEO of Twitter. So
Mm,
that's his genius marketing as he gets. But on that note, we are going to go to a quick break. We're going to play some of your music tonight, Skitso. We're
let's do
going to
it.
play a collaboration with Game, one of our favorite artists. I can say that here in New York, he gets the New York pass everywhere. Damn it, we all love Game so much out here. What is it that put this song together? You and Game.
Um, Basically, it was during COVID. During COVID, one of my boys hit me up. One of my boys that I went to college with. Um, he just hit me up. He was like, "Yo, Game is giving out opportunities for different independent artists, and I feel like you should submit something." And so basically, I had just came from out of the studio where I wrote that song. Like it was like the timer was so perfect where I had wrote my verse and I wrote the hook for it, and it was like Game could actually fit on this song. Like it was like the work was already ready. I didn't have to create anything for him or try to specify it to be for him. It was just it just happened very organically
Wow.
on the creative end, and I submitted it to him and we worked it out.
That's great. I
Yeah.
saw a lot of artists were doing that during COVID. It's good to see that
Mhm,
somebody capitalized and made the
mhm,
best of it.
mhm.
So this is big bands, The
Yeah.
Game, AD, Marty Blaze, and Skitso.
Yeah.
Seek knowledge and truth and seize opportunities. God damn it, I couldn't agree more.
That's facts. That's the key to life right there.
Skitso, as we listen to this song, where can they find you on Instagram?
Skits Skitsoisi.
Don't
S.
go nowhere, folks. We will return.
Yep.
Ruler, ruler, divine, divine.
And we're back. That was Big Bands. Skitso, the artist that you heard killing it on that track with our fan favorite here, The Game. He's with us right now. And he can be followed on Instagram at it's Skitso, right? Just straight Skitso on Instagram.
You type in Skitso, it should be the only verified one that comes up, but it's an extra ISI. Skitso is I.
Skitso is on it spelled Skit. It's
SO.
not spelled like the actual
Nah,
illness,
no,
although the
sir.
man is ill,
No,
god damn it.
no, sir. No, sir.
And Skitso, you have some true heritage in the game.
Mm-hmm.
True, I mean, in your blood, I should
Mm-hmm.
say, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So you are the grandnephew of the great Andre Hamilton, who was part of arguably the first rap group ever, formed in 1967 called the Watts Prophet.
Yes, sir.
If you're a great studier of hip hop and spoken word, then you definitely know the Watts Prophets. So, first off, did you get to know him at any point?
Yeah, I definitely got to know him, and he's still alive. Yeah, I got to know my uncle in later years, like these years, like now, as well as like maybe like 5 or 10 years back is when we started to really get close. But he was always around. Yeah,
And
he's
how did the connection happen? Did he realize that you were a rapper and were having success? Did you
um
approach him, let him know how did it all come together there?
basically it just happened through family. You know what I mean? It was just really just more family. Like my his mom and my grandmother's mom, she actually just passed away this year,
Oh,
but she passed away in October, in like late October,
sorry to
and
hear that.
her
Wow.
birthday was November 6th.
Yeah.
um and she lived to be 104. She would have been 105 in November.
Ooh.
So we always would get together every year and celebrate my great grandmother's birthday, and just talk. And I always wanted to know like other members of my family, because I don't we don't know all of our members, you know what I mean? And even if we know them, just having that closeness, you know what I mean? And he word got around. I don't know how me and him started talking about music, but as far as him, like my grandma definitely told me like you should listen to my brother, your uncle, and just get into more what he's doing. And he's amazing, man. Still.
Do
He
you
has.
think that he's given the credit that he deserves? I was talking about it with Elena before the show about how most people think the first rap song ever, or at least the executives, let's say, that run things behind the scenes. They like to say it is the Sugar Hill Gang.
Mhm.
And what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that your great uncle is given enough credit for his role in the beginning of hip hop?
I don't think so, because, and why I say me personally, I don't think so, is because I never heard about the Watts Prophets with outside of my family, right? Like me personally, I never heard of, nobody talks about them. No West Coast, like you usually hear like NWA get the credit, or like people like Ice T, King T, and stuff like that. And I never I never really heard like outsiders talk about him, but I know one person who does know, and that's DJ Quick.
Mm.
DJ Quick for sure knows.
And how do you know DJ Quick knows? Was he paying some homage? You noticed?
Um, nah, because my uncle told me like he was in the studio like with DJ Quick like 2 3 years ago. Yeah, they was still in the
Wow,
studio just create music. Yeah.
that is crazy.
And DJ Quick is definitely one of those real students, like of music
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. It's good to see they're still out there. The real hip hop heads that are out there
Yeah.
paying tribute
Mm-hmm.
to those guys that helped put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, just to think that it is swept under the rug. I wonder, like, what could be done. We got to bring the great uncle on the show one day. Pay some
For
proper
sure.
homage.
For sure. I would definitely. That's nothing but a call away for sure.
Bring him on to some New York tracks. We got to put him on some features. We need him with Game on a song. That's what we got to do.
Man, his style is so crazy. How he does it, like his concepts is out of this world. Like for real. Like
We're talking this group, by the way, to those that are listening. The Watts Prophets formed in 1967. So that's really, truly originators of the game. I don't want to, don't quote me on this, but I think Sugar Hill Gang put out their singles, 1978, 79.
mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty big difference there.
And I wasn't even born yet.
Rapper's Delight, I think, was the first one, right? Wasn't it? Rapper's Delight was the first, at least on the radio, they say.
Right. In New York.
In New York. See, that's the thing. It's like
Right.
it's hard to say, right? Like, did it really start there? Did it start here? Because then you could also argue and say that Lil Baby's grandfather started it all. Do you know the video I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
My God, it's good.
Where's Lil Baby's people's from?
All right, so we're gonna on break. We're gonna play one of your songs.
Okay.
We're gonna come back, and I'm going to show the listeners that there is damn proof that Lil Baby's grandfather could have very well started hip hop back in like the 1920s or 30s or something like that. This video went viral. It surfaced last year. I couldn't tell you who it is, but on the break, I'm gonna do my my job as a semi-journalist and find out.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, we're going to play Skitso's new song, Gas Station, which is hard. I was listening to it in the car. It's about gassing up, the lifestyle of chasing gas. Now, when you say that in the song chasing gas, you're referring to chasing good ass weed, right?
Nah, that's
I
not.
wasn't sure.
I'm just talking about like basically just going to the gas station to hurry up and go get the bag. You know what I mean? Just
Love it.
You know what I mean? Like, don't really want to go to the gas station, but it's a necessity to do. You know, every time I go to the gas station, I'm literally on the way to go get some money right after.
Love
You know
that.
what I mean? Basically, and I feel like it's just every day. That's what people wake up and that's what people do. Wake up in the morning, go to the gas station.
Like they say in the West Coast, what is it? 30 different ways to get paid. What is that Dre says? I don't know. Don't quote me on it.
Right,
for anything on this show, damn it. We're going to come back. We're going to discover Lil Baby's grandfather together, a.k.a. I've got the producers yelling at me, the Jubilaries. We're going to find out. We'll be back soon, folks. We got Skitso in studio, new music, gas station on the way. Fill up the bank like you fill up that tank, goddammit. We'll be back soon.
You know that.
Let's go.
Cooler ruler define.
And we are back, levitated as always. And even though we're a little bit levitated, Skitso, we got to stay educated, don't we?
Yes, sir. That's key.
It certainly is. We like to learn new things here. And on the break, we learned a little bit about the Jubilaries. And I could be saying it wrong. They say a picture's 1,000 words, right?
Right.
Well, the video's even more. So we got the video right here of the Jubilaries. This song is called Noah, and it dates back to 1946. So this is what? Right after the death of Hitler. Right after the end of World War II, when the new world really began. Let's take it back here and find out how true this is.
But it's over and over. Oh no, I'm gonna ride on the winning time, but it's over and over. Oh no, I'm gonna ride on the winning time. Brother Noah, my ghost talking, said he would ride on the wind and tide.
This isn't necessarily There's no baby grandpa.
And listen to me. God walked down to the briny sea. He declared that the Eve must sent for man, and then he decided to destroy the land. He spoke to Noah. Noah stopped. He said, Noah, I want you to build me an ark. I want you to build it 3 cubits long. I want you to build it big and strong. I want it 50 high and 50 wide, so it will stand the wind and tide. It's oh Noah, oh Noah. Oh no, I got to go to gonna ride on the wailing tide. But let's oh Noah, oh Noah, oh Noah, I'm gonna ride on the wailing tide. Gonna ride on the wailing tide. Gonna ride on the wailing tide.
All right. Well, that's it there. So that was the Jubilaries. Amazing. We're going to play the full song after we're done with our interview. I think that's a perfect thing to transition into.
Man.
I don't know, man. That looked like rap. It sounded like rap. It felt like rap.
Sure, 100% rap. That was 1,000% rap for sure. For sure.
Question though, Skitso. Is it the grandfather of Little Baby? Is that Big Baby? Big giant baby.
If Lil Baby says that is, you know what I mean? That's what it is. You know?
I know that's what the meme says. First time I ever saw that, it was circulating around as one of those Instagram reels. And it was like, Lil Baby's grandfather has bars.
Has he commented on that?
It can't be his grandfather. It's just some idiots trying to make a clown of Lil Baby.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, the Jubilaries, that dude was definitely, he was rapping for sure.
It was a smooth group in general.
Yeah.
Because back then you couldn't have a rap group necessarily.
Yeah.
You need to have a singer. There was the guy that was like humming, doing the who's and the he's.
Yeah. That was a nice track, man. I'm gonna study more on the Jubilaries for sure.
If we're saying it right, we could be saying it completely wrong.
Man, I tried to do the spelling too, and it looked damn near accurate.
So the names of the members, we've got Orville Brooks, Theodore like my son, Caleb Ginyard, and George McFadden. Someone's got to check Lil Baby's last name immediately. What's Lil Baby's last name? Anybody know? Let's solve this right now.
Let me see that.
Dominique Armani Jones. So there you have it. Unless it came from the maternal side.
Yeah, it's so many different ways. Yeah,
just a bunch of pranksters on the internet.
Yeah,
and there was some more hip hop news. We might as well get into it with you, Skitso. I mean, I don't know how you feel about snitching. I don't know how you feel about getting caught up. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of either.
I've never been a fan of tattletelling. You know what I'm saying? Like, just in general, like just being in the school system and just getting people in trouble. You know what I mean? And blackmailing and doing things just to get people in trouble. I've genuinely have never been a fan of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to, you know, like getting people locked up, like, you know, nah, man, like, I don't agree with that, bro. I still like, there's like, you don't got to tell on the next person, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not gonna, well, in the system, I guess it could save you getting a plea deal, but I just don't like tattletelling, bro. Like,
doesn't sit right with you, does it?
It does. It like nah, because I was always a kid getting told on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's not fun
being
tattletaled on. Snitches, man. I tell you, I remember being a kid, and my pops, he'd say to me, "Whatever you do, just don't admit it."
Yeah.
He said they could throw whatever they want in front of you, just don't admit you did it.
Right.
No matter what, deny. It's not the deed. It's not the thought. It's if you get caught. I remember sitting in the principal's office and just lying to the principal.
Yeah.
Constantly about bad things I was doing.
Yeah.
Just never admit it. And half the time you get away with it.
I just never been a fan of that.
No, you can't be a fan of that. Especially when it's weaponized. Like, I remember there was some like real bad, like the baddest kid. One time I got snitched on by the baddest kid. He was like weaponizing snitching against me. He pulled the fire extinguisher. And then he's like, yo, it was Ryan Vernell. I was the other bad kid, but I wasn't bad like pulling fire extinguishers bad. I was doing like funny things, right? Funny pranks, whatever. Pulls the fire extinguisher and then weaponized snitching on me. And that's another thing. Some people think that you can snitch on your enemies and that's okay. I don't agree with that either.
Right.
It's probably a little more understandable than some of the other things we've seen. Like, you know, obviously I'm saying this because of what's going on in the recent news with Gunna.
Yeah.
Gunna's free. All of these other members are getting out free.
Yeah.
And to me, the Gunna situation, it's just tough, especially when a guy like Young Thug blessed everybody with an opportunity, changed all these guys' trajectory for their lives, their families' trajectory for their lives, and then to get yourself out of trouble, you put this person that literally not just put you on the map, but I mean, in a sense, put breath into into generations of family
Right.
that come after you. And yeah, it just doesn't sit right with me either. And it
Yeah.
doesn't sit right with me that the media just like covers it up. And there's big people in the media that are pretending that there wasn't any type of a plea. Or I mean, I guess it's obvious there was a plea deal. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, look, I know I'm not trying to advocate street culture. I'm not trying to advocate, murder or drug
Mhm.
dealing, but loyalty. I'm
Right.
sorry. It's something that sits wrong with me about that whole situation.
Right. Um, it's just unfortunate. I can't really speak on that situation, but like, let's just say another New Yorker 6ix9ine, right? Like in that situation, I understand his perspective. You know, um,
I can't even understand 6ix9ine's perspective. Like the whole idea of weaponizing snitching against your enemies. Like these dudes, you know what you're doing when you're setting up hits on people and you're doing all these real crimes. Like, I'm not sure what Gunna did. If Gunna wasn't doing anything
like,
crazy, then
if he was part
then
of
it's
that,
hard
he
to see
knows that,
somebody get in trouble for
yeah,
some really crazy stuff. But 6ix9ine was calling hits on people. And
yeah,
that's crazy, man.
yeah, that is
So
tragic.
if you're in this day and age, if you're going to be a criminal, you have to understand one thing: whatever you do is on the record, and they know every single thing that you do. This is an announcement to all the people that are driving around in their cars being idiots. If you're doing something illegal, be ready to serve time for it because they know what you're doing. 100% at this point in time when they have iPhones and they can just like how you type in a keyword on your iPhone and everything comes up, all the text messages. You don't think that there's something like that for a police database or an FBI database?
For
So
sure,
just be smart. Like if you're gonna do something stupid, be ready to either be smart about doing it or just be ready to serve the time.
for sure.
Don't throw your friends under the bus, even if they're banging your girlfriend because she's a thought. Doesn't make sense to me.
Right. Yeah.
But what do I know?
Snitching.
Look,
Right.
I'm out here in the Hamptons, right? Doing radio. So I guess some would say it's not my place to speak on it, but as a Sicilian, I always find it's just my place to step up against snitching.
Right. Right. Right.
Too many of my people have been affected by snitching, Skitso.
Right. It all just comes down to decisions and choices. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be in that life, you know what I mean, or make these decisions, you got to be prepared to deal with those consequences. You know?
Well said. So if you sign up for the Italian Mafia, you know damn well before you sign your name over and whatever weird rituals is these guys do, it's death or jail. You're not
Right.
getting out of it.
Right.
And it just needs to be understood with all of everybody around the spectrum. And if you want to get into that life, get into that life. But also be ready to serve time. Don't be ratting everybody out, right?
Right. You
I'm
can't
not
have
saying it's
all,
right to commit crimes, by the way. To all the people out there, do not join the mafia. But if you are, don't snitch on them either. That's all. Have some principle, goddammit.
exactly, like it's no risk without reward. Don't just look for the reward. You know what I mean? Like of in the glory of whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? Like you knew what it was when you signed up for it, bro. And that's not right that you just trying to act like you didn't know that this was a possibility.
It's like a microcosm for anything. It's like you go to McDonald's and you don't want to use the deep fryer. You know what you signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of the game. All right, so that's kind of a strange analogy, but we're gonna wrap things up here. Skitso,
Yes, sir.
you do have an eclectic taste in music, right? We got to enjoy some new music together.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you would recommend DJ Honky Wonky to play on the ones and twos before we plug all your social media info and everything else tonight? Something from the West Coast, because a lot of our listeners are from the East Coast. We want to know what's good on the West Coast. We got Skitso. We're playing Skitso all night. Who do you recommend from the West Coast that we don't know out here in the East yet?
That's a tough one, man. That's such a tough one, man. Man, you actually you got me with that question, bro. I would just advise you to play gas station, bro.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Gas
That's what it's
station on
about, bro.
repeat.
You know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
that.
That's what time I'm on, man. You know what I mean? I'm
Uh,
in my own world right now. You know what I mean? Like
I
I'm
love
in
it.
my own world right now. I'm sorry about that, bro. But
No, you kidding me? No, that's the best answer we've ever heard. Are you kidding? I love that. more gas station, more gas
More gas.
for the listeners on the Ryan Show FM. Skitso, we already found out about Instagram. You got TikTok, any other live shows coming out? Where else can they find you?
You can find me on my personal website, and that's skitso.com, skitso.com. And then through that, it has links to whatever social media platforms I'm on, regardless if it's my Facebook page or Twitter, IG. Spotify is even considered a social media, right? Like, you know,
I'm not sure if Spotify is technically one, but
you can
find him on
follow him, man.
Spotify, damn it. Find him on,
Yeah. Just
That's right.
skitso.com is the hub, and whatever platform you're looking for, pretty sure you can find it on there, except TikTok.
And Skitso spelled Skitso.
Yes,
I
sir.
wouldn't go to Skitso with the Z. Who knows what'll be on there?
Yeah.
But Skitso, it's been good joining me, man. And, we're going to have you back soon, I'm sure. When I'm out in LA, we'll be at TKK Studios burning it down. But until then, tell Elena I say hello.
For sure.
Listeners, don't go anywhere. We will be back soon.